This is Amy Poehler. My new movie, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, is coming to theaters June 14th, and it's making me feel joy and sadness and anger, definitely some disgust, and I think a little fear. But I'm also feeling these new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui.
It's what you call the boredom.
Okay, that one was weird. It's going to be the feel everything movie of the summer. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters June 14th. Get tickets now.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for All-Star Season 7, Episode 6, titled Total RuQuest Live. My name is Joe Betance, and I am joined, as always, by two co-hosts. First from the podcast, Bravo, effing Bravo. Please say...
Somebody just put something in somebody's hole, please.
To Nathan Brown. Hello, Nathan Brown. How are you?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. Are you excited to talk about today's episode?
Fuck yeah.
I before I watched the episode, I actually had a conversation with Nathan, and he was like, I go, I'm about to watch the episode. And he was like, He literally said, don't bother. And I was like, I have to because I do a show. Speaking of uncomfortable and awkward and don't bother... From the podcast pod is my co-pilot. Please say...
You're welcome, cunt.
To Taylor the Lo-tte Boy. Hello, Taylor the Lo-tte Boy. Long time no tea.
Joseph, how are you?
I'm doing... You know exactly how I'm doing. You know how I know this? Because we just did an episode of Just Between Us Girls over on the Patreon. Taylor talked about how he saved the life of a bird. Nathan talked about... Oh, no. No, he did it. Nathan's friends who are listening later, because can't extend this. His friends listen to the public feed, and he gets really, really awkward because they listen now and they report. Nathan revealed nothing of the sort. He just talked about...
Shut up, Joe.
He just talked about Wollongong and how big Wollongong is.
And all the koalas.
Yeah, oh yeah, he talked about a dead koala in the road.
Yeah, it took a dark turn.
It did take a dark turn.
Just Between Us Girls tends to take a dark turn in my experience.
Well, that's because he talked about his butthole last week, and that's what he meant.
Oh, okay.
Did
you really talk about your butthole?
Last week he talked about it. Last week he literally said, "What's I love buttholes" or something like that. I don't remember. It was really. I forgot to pull the clip for this week. He did. His friends are going to have so many questions after they hear about this. Now, Nathan's friends, if you want to hear more about this, you can go to patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia and hear a different side of Nathan than you're used to. Nathan's going to start a whole show called Brown Under. Now, it's up to you to decide whether it's about him or his butthole. And every week it'll be different.
Or a bit of both.
Yeah, or it could be both. Coming to Afterthought Media, Brown Under.
I don't hate it.
Patreon.com.
That is a good title.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Afterthought Media. Go there and do it today. All right, this week. Wink. This week, Jinx and Raja give legendary legend stars to Evie Oddly and Jada Essence Hall before the girls perform on TRL as girl groups. Meanwhile, on the runway, the category is Night of 1,000 Dolly Partons. Evie Oddly and a blocked Viv are named the top 2 All-Stars of the week. Evie receives a legendary legend star before duking it out in a lip-sync battle for their legacies. After all was said and done, the Vivian was named the winner of the lip-sync and chose to block Jinx Monsoon. Ladies, name 2 things you liked about the episode and 1 thing you did not. Let's start with our very special guest, Taylor the Lo-tte Boy. Hello, Taylor. Give me 2 things you like and 1 thing. So, Taylor, what we do in this show is you name 2 things you liked about the episode and 1 thing you didn't.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting way to do that. Okay, let's see what I can come up with. 2 things that I liked about it. I loved the theme of the runway. I just thought that was a lot of fun. And I would say most of the girls did a pretty good job. There were a couple of them that I wasn't necessarily crazy about. The other thing that I loved was I love that 2000s in TRL is now considered nostalgia, and that it's very much where they're talking about bands that there are people that watch this show that they have no idea who they're talking about. Mm-hmm. The thing that I did not like was I feel as though someone got more than one pity star this week.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing that I did not like.
I think Vivian deserved a star.
She didn't get one.
Oh, you're right. She didn't.
She didn't get one.
Yeah. Let's go to Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown, what about you? What do you have to say?
Well, one of the things I liked was the Vivian just being a salty Sally and bringing a little bit of drama into the show. I think that's been missing, and we needed a bit of conflict, even though it was about nothing, but I appreciated that.
Yeah.
The other thing I liked was learning how to pronounce the name of the celebrity guest, Tove the Lo-tte, which was a shock to the system that blindsided me. And the thing I don't like, I think similar to Taylor, we need to stop treating all these winners with kid gloves and giving them some critiques, and the rigory in the judging is getting ridiculous. Evie in the top 2, I don't think.
Yeah. So, for me, I liked the second song. Actually, it was kind of a bop, the second one. I liked it. It was the NSYNC inspired one. I really liked that song. Also, like Taylor, I was a big fan of the runway theme, and I think the girls, for the most part, with a couple of exceptions, really pulled it off. Like, I've had my qualms with the Viv, but she looked like Dolly Parton.
We both gasped when she came around the corner.
Yeah. What I didn't like, and I think is what you guys just touched on, I have a different approach to it, but they made it very apparent and very obvious how the fix is in on this show. And that they want to be, there's a narrative that, in other words, Evie was going to get a star. She was going to earn a star no matter what. Because I don't think there's anybody who, in either of those categories, either the song or the runway, that thought Evie carried it at all.
No. This was the first week that I felt the rigory. This was, for the most part, I mean, we know that there's always story editors and all that kind of thing. Particularly, we saw that a lot with season 14. But this was the first week that I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Speaking of, I'll probably forget to say this later. I saw somewhere online that they edited out, again, what I think is Rue's best joke. But I guess even the editors are getting sick of it. But you know when Tove Lo said, zigga zigga? That Rue said to her, what did you call me? Right, but they cut it out of the show.
That is, whenever she does say that, I always know that you are giggling somewhere on the other coast.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh every single time. It is the one RuPaul joke that I really like. I also like the one where she doesn't do it as much anymore. When it's like a weird name or word, she'll say, isn't she from Pacoima?
She hasn't done that one in a long time.
Seasons, yeah, since Raja won or something like that. But that was a good one. Okay, well, let's move on here. After the lip sync, Raja is thrilled to have won her first legendary legend star, and Jinx has officially pulled into the lead with her second. Viv accepts her block as punishment for implying she'd block. I don't think she implied she blocked Jinx. If we're implying she'd blocked Jinx, though, Jinx denies that was the reason, and Jinx and Raja mull over how to award their legendary legend stars. The next day, RuPaul enters the workroom and asks Raja and Jinx to award their stars. Raja gives hers to Evie, and Jinx gives Jada her second star. Next, RuPaul announces this week's Maxi Challenge. The queens will live their 2000s girl group fantasy and write a verse, choreograph a routine, and perform a song on a flashback episode of Total Request Live. The girls will be performing one of two songs, Titanic, an epic breakup song, and Together Forever, an eternal love song. Let's start here with Mr. Nathan Brown. Nathan, what are your big thoughts on everything on the lip sync and the next day? What are your thoughts there?
Well, Monet's coming off as a bit desperate with the whole gifting of the star thing, trying to get that second star. So I don't know what she's doing, but she's fading into the background as well as some others, so I want her to step up. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Viv being like, oops, shouldn't have said I was going to block you, Jinx. Like, fucking duh. Like, what was she thinking? But I did have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
When Raja said it's a Joan and Christina moment, I didn't get that reference. Do you guys know what that is?
Wait, do you not know why? No, wait. Hold on. Taylor. Calm down. Taylor. Okay, stop. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me just clarification. Is it because you don't know how that reference tied into what they were talking about? Or you just don't understand who Joan and Christina? Wait, hold on.
Shut him off. Shut him off. Turn him off. Get him off. I'm taking over. I'm doing the rest of the season.
I'm asking genuinely. Like, I want to know.
Yeah. Well, I think what Taylor, don't say anything here.
He's human.
I think what Taylor wants to say is this.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
Yes?
From context, I'm now getting that it's some sort of like Citizen Kane thing. So, no, I'm kidding.
Okay,
so I get that. Okay, I know that. I
have another. Sorry, I have Taylor's other. This is what Taylor just said to me right here. Actually,
Tina, bring me the axe.
Right.
Do you still not get it, Nathan?
Now I get that it's Joan Crawford.
Yeah, and her daughter, Christina.
Crawford.
Yeah.
Okay. And that applies to this situation.
Well, what was the situation? I don't remember this.
Was it with the stars?
Oh, no,
Giving
I know what he's
stars?
talking. Is this the one where she's talking about giving the gifts out to the little poor kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a scene in the movie Mommy Dearest. You want to tell it, Taylor?
Mommy
You're the guest.
Dearest. Got it.
It's from Mommy Dearest, where the Joan Crawford would always throw the two kids huge birthday parties, and they would get tons and tons of gifts, but they were only allowed to keep one, and they had to donate all of the other gifts to like orphans or like, needy children in the hospital, that sort of thing.
And they would have like a press thing where they would show the kids give away their gifts to the orphans. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the point of that.
Great. Well, thank you.
Wow, Nathan, really, that is like, what now, Taylor, do you think we're just two old queens?
Yes.
But
how old are you, Nathan?
31.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily have grown up watching that on HBO like Joe and I probably did 4 million times. But it was burned into our brains.
But Taylor, there are gays that are younger than he is that know this. I mean, here's the deal, Nathan, and next time you do, here's the problem.
I'm fired.
No, you're not fired. Your homework is you need to find next time it plays in a theater. You got to find whatever the gay, maybe in Sydney at some point during Pride or somewhere in October during coming out month, and find where it's playing in a theater and go see it with a bunch of gay people. That's really the only way to appreciate this movie.
Yes, it is absolutely. The last time that I saw it in a theater where Hedda Lettuce, the drag queen, was doing commentary the entire time. And it was a completely different experience than watching it when I was a little kid. It was hysterical.
And the movie is batshit crazy. It is batshit crazy. It is Faye Dunaway at her coked out peak.
It ruined her career.
She was not getting along with anybody. There's rumors because they do this weird thing where, like, on a lot of the shots, especially the craziest shots of Faye Dunaway, where they hold onto the shot a little, like a beat too long. And some people think the director did that to her on purpose to make her look crazy. Because she's waiting for him to yell cut, and she's just like, and they hold it for like a beat too long. And he did kind of shoot, especially that wire hanger scene is shot like a horror movie. It's so bizarre. It is so bizarre. It makes me want to watch that movie all over again. So fantastic. Okay. So anyway, go ahead, Nathan. You had more thoughts about this thing?
Well, not really. Now I'm just thinking about how dumb I am.
What about you, Taylor?
You're not dumb. You're just ill-informed.
Yeah. Okay.
Taylor, any thoughts on this? Nathan, are you upset? Do you think we think you're dumb?
No. I just, I should have picked up on the Joan clue, but honestly, it went right over my head.
are times that they make pop culture references that I should know. I don't get it. So,
but they tend to be the younger ones that Nathan would actually get. That we do the whole, I don't know what they meant by that.
Like, I'll admit that I don't know who the fuck this Tove Lo is. I don't know who that is.
I couldn't, if you held a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you a Tove Lo song. I have no idea who she is.
Isn't that Irish song?
Tove Lo?
Yeah. Tove Lo. Wait, how does it go? Lura, Tove Lo, are. Tove Lo, Laura. Sleep now, don't be gay. Anyway.
My thoughts on the episode, or the first act. No, for the first act, were I saw kind of similar to what Nathan said. I liked that there was just the beginnings of a seed of drama, even though everybody seemed to be getting along.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to believe that Jinx did not pick her because of the previous comment the week before. Did not give the Vivian the plunger for that. But that seemed to stick in the Vivian's head, along with some other stuff that we're going to talk about a little bit later, that kind of shows me that as well as the Vivian is doing, there seems to be an intimidation factor. There seems to be some insecurity there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the ways that she's acting is not helping to embolden her to the fans.
That was one of the questions I have in my notes is, do you think, and we'll ask Nathan here because you just answered, Taylor, do you think Jinx was being honest, Nathan, about why she gave Viv the plunger?
You know what? I think Jinx is probably thinking like, yeah, this bitch blocked me or wants to block me, but also they are similar. So Vivian probably is Jinx's biggest competition because because they're in the same lane.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have another question for you too. Let's say last week I gave each of you an extra star. Who would you in this cast, if you were in this cast, who would you give the star to? Let's start with Nathan. Nathan, who would you give the star to?
You know what? I think I would give it to someone who was in the top 2 and was blocked so that they were already robbed of a star. So I'll give it to Trinity.
Interesting.
That was my answer too.
Well, wait a minute. He gave it to Trinity. So now who are you giving it to, Taylor?
Can't two people? I mean, that would be stupid because then she'd have 3. But if Trinity was off the board, then I would probably give it to Monet. I feel like Monet. I know we talked. Nathan talked a little bit about that she's sort of fading a little bit, but I also feel like she's had some really strong runways that haven't been necessarily appreciated as much as they could be. And so I would give it, if he was giving his to Trinity, I would give mine to Monet.
Yeah, fuck Evie off.
The correct answer is Jinx made the right choice. She gave it to Jada Essence Hall. The problem is Trinity and Monet can easily win a star, especially in that episode. Whereas Evie already has one and she can't give one to Raja. So who's next? You know, even though I do think, and I will say this and it will come out this episode, and this is not because she's black, but Jada Essence Hall, I feel, is the dark horse in this competition. I think she's being...
Agreed.
I think she's being
I could see
over.
that.
I think people are not noticing how strong she is. She is very, very strong and has surprised me how strong she's been up against these very, very talented queens.
She strikes me as the heart of the confessionals. She is the one that you immediately, like, she just kind of beams that warmth to you. Mm-hmm. Whereas even though a lot of the other ones have little funny quips, hers is where she just seems like she is so happy to be there and just enjoying the experience. Mm-hmm. So Jada, that is a good answer.
Now, Nathan, were you a little aroused when she showed her nipple?
You know what? I didn't hate it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the next day, actually. I loved Raja's outfit in the workroom. I'm just going to say it right here.
That hat?
The hat.
That hat was awesome.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Oh, you didn't like
that was ridiculous.
But that's kind of Raja to have something like that. That's just got that flair to it. And it's a piece that you definitely, you'll remember. We all knew exactly what you were talking about. Yeah. The purple bowler hat. I liked it. I was
expecting Remy the rat to be hiding under there, controlling her or something by pulling on her hair. Like, what was hiding under that hat, Raja?
Joe, do you get that reference?
No, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Good.
Oh,
you're an idiot.
By the way, last week, I don't know if it was this on Just Between Us Girls, but I talked about a friend of Mercedes who was on a kids show in Australia.
Oh, High Five.
Well, no, that was her friend, but I don't know if he was on High Five. But I did find out what kids show she was on, and I don't know if this was a real kids show or not. It seems fake, right? Agro's Cartoon Connection?
Oh, Agro, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
This is Australian. She was an Australian kids show host.
Mercedes was?
No, Mercedes' roommate was an Australian girl.
Oh, okay.
She had been on a kids cartoon host when in Australia.
That's quite a gig.
Agro's Cartoon. But then the story I told is when in 2006, while Lori was on tour with her Whites Only tour, I went to an event and her friend had brought this super hot guy, and he was also a kids show host in Australia, but I cannot remember who it is. I'll have to have Mercedes talk to her and find out who the answer is. All right. Okay. Have we said everything? Have we said our piece about this? All right.
Were you half expecting Rue to come in wearing something similar to what Raja had on?
No, totally. But I was expecting her to comment. Maybe they cut it out, but she didn't even comment what we saw. She was like, oh yeah, look, there's a person wearing a giant hat. Remember when Pharrell was wearing it and she wore it the whole season?
Who wore it the whole season?
Rue
wore a big hat a whole season?
Yes, and it was like a different colored one. Nathan, this is like season 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember
this,
that.
Taylor? You know what? I bet you it was season 10 when you had cancer. I'm not even being funny.
Well, I watched season 10. I just, maybe I wasn't watching. I kind of did fade in and out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know the outfit last week. We both went, what the fuck is she wearing with the sleeveless coat and the gold lame pants?
She looked like she was dreadful. On like, what was that? Spaceballs or something like that.
Spaceballs, yeah.
Yeah. You know what Spaceballs is there, Nathan?
A movie?
Oh my God.
What's a Tony?
Oh yeah, someone didn't, Trinity didn't know what West Side Story was. Remember that?
Oh, with the sharks and the jets? Yeah.
They're all so dumb. Okay, crickets.
Yeah. I'll put that in post. In the workroom, trouble arises when the girls split into teams based on where they were in line. The Viv resents feeling a cast-off, so the girls instead split by who wants which song, and teams are as follows. Team Titanic consists of Raja, Shay, Monet, and Trinity. Meanwhile, Team Together Forever is Viv, Evie, Jinx, and Jada. Each team decides on a concept. Team Titanic's girl group is fresh from their 5th member going solo and are called Mr. The other group are girls who didn't quite make the cut for A-list girl groups and are called The Other Girls. When deciding on characters, Evie will be an AI pop robot, Jada wants to rap, Jinx again will play an old lady, and Viv will poke fun at British stereotypes. Let's start with our friend Taylor the Lo-tte Boy. Taylor, any big thoughts on everything that happened here in the workroom?
This felt, and we're kind of, okay. Sorry. The Vivian put out a tweet, I guess last night after the episode aired, that said something along the lines of, I've been on 40 or 50 plus TV shows. I know how to make good TV. By the way, we're all friends. Because I guess people were giving her shit about the whole thing with Jinx and all that kind of stuff. So there's part of me that wonders if the whole idea of, well, I just feel like I was put on this group. I didn't really get a say, that kind of stuff, and making a big deal about it and kind of being pouty, if that was a ploy to get screen time. And the reason why is I'm thinking this is it felt very, which I feel like we saw this on UK versus the World. It felt very bag of chips. And I wouldn't normally categorize Bag of Chips and the Vivian in the same place, other than they're both they're both from the same season of Drag Race UK. It was not a cute look, and I don't know where it really necessarily came from, especially when they said, well, let's all figure out what songs we want. And then she just stayed where she was and had people actually say to her, do you want to come over here? No, it's fine. It's fine. There was just something about it. There was an immaturity, but now I'm wondering if she was playing us in that she gave us something to talk about.
Usually I go to Nathan first, but can I jump in here? So Taylor, you're saying that the Vivian was having a hissy fit about something that seems so trivial. Like, who would have a hissy fit about something so trivial involving Drag Race, and that you don't even think it's real? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, just want to be sure. Nathan, what were your thoughts here?
I think Vivian was just a bit bored and was like, you know what, let's just mess things up a little bit. She might have been a little bit plucked from being blocked, and she might have been annoyed, but she was like, let's just make a little bit of a deal out of it. So I think, Taylor, you're right. She was doing the bag of chips thing, but she was doing it much better.
I half expected that in her lyrics.
I did
especially
too.
when she did the thing like this.
The chimney thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny. Maybe I'm the gullible one. I totally believe it was real. I'll tell you why I believe it was real. And the editors clearly chose this shot because they wanted us to see. You can feel the heat from her as she's separated from the group. This isn't the scene prior when they're around the table and they sort of are like, and they're assembling around each other. You can feel the anger, even there. It's palpable. And then you go to the next scene and she's sitting there all pouty. So I think it's real. The one part where I'll concede is maybe once Jinx came up with the solution, she was like, oh, I'm making good TV here. Let's milk this, but I feel it came from a genuine place at first. Because you're right. It was stupid. Like, well, they literally said, because Jinx says, it doesn't matter if if there's more than too many people, just go over there and, we'll figure it out.
Which was a great solution to that, I thought.
Yes, it was a great solution. Or maybe the Viv realized what I was like, the bitches who put themselves together in a team are stupid because they put the most talented performers on one team.
Yeah.
How are these dumb bitches still think it's actually almost kind of amateur to be like, oh, it's all about the look. And you're like, no, it really isn't. So, anyway.
Especially when they sat and talked about what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you watched the other girls all start to do oh my God, you could do this and we could do this and this could be really funny. And then that was the team I was excited to see once they fleshed out what the idea was versus Mr., which a great name, but it's not a great, performance.
Well, did you notice that Shay just stole the plot of Girls 5 Ever? Have you guys watched Girls 5 Ever?
No, I'm familiar with it, but
it's just, 4 girls in a girl group after the 5th one died. So it's like they just stole that plot.
Okay.
But then they were going to have Evie. We might be getting ahead of me saying this. They never referenced that again because it made sense that it would be Mystery and then Evie left to go join the other group. But it was never really brought up again in the explanation of the group.
There were a lot of choices being made with that. With the other girls, I was like, why would you want to be rapping but be bad at rapping and just sing about poo? And why would you be a robot? There was a lot of choices.
Oh, no, I know that. But it was also something where you're like, well, this could either be really great or they could fall flat on their face.
Well, sometimes they got fucked over because I don't know what happened. Jinx had a really good idea. Either the Viv didn't get it or it got thrown out in the process, the creative process, but where she said that, like, I'm this, and I'm British. I thought that would have been really funny.
Yeah.
They
were never going to let her just say two words for that. That was never going to be allowed.
By the way, the Viv does say in confessional later that she was really mad because she wasn't in the cool group. And I think that's what it was really about. It wasn't really about the fairness. It was about the cool kids in her eyes did not choose her to be on their team.
Oh, well, there it goes back to the insecurity part.
Yeah. There you go. Very good. Now, I have one more question before we move on. Justin Timberlake comes up a lot in this episode. In the 90s, did he do it for you, Taylor, in the 2000s?
He didn't really do it for me because he was at one point, I was an adult and he was underage. So he didn't really do it for me then. When he did the Rolling Stone cover, with the shirtless Rolling Stone cover, that was the first time that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're hot.
Yeah. What about you, Nathan?
For me, it was the sexy back era when he was in his suit and tie and also like voicing characters on Shrek. That's when I was into Justin.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why Trinity would build a whole verse around Justin Timberlake because she's just plagiarized India Farah's song from All Stars 5. Remember when India sang about she's in love with Justin Timberlake?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Well, that would involve me
memory.
remembering India Farah, but yeah, no, I
copied the same lyrics. She was like, I brought that Britney back because I feel very attacked. That was
a great memory.
You
or
do.
He goes on Reddit all day after the show. On one of the two things.
No, there's a few Drag Race songs that I embarrassingly listen to a lot. And like that, Final Four from season 14 song with Candy Muse. That was my number one song on Spotify last year.
Lucky? Lucky?
Loved it.
Oh God,
Loved
really?
It. That and the UK Hun and all the Bing Bang Bongs. Like I froth over a Drag Race song. Like Hey Kitty Girl.
Hey Kitty Girl is a great. Hey Kitty Girl is on my workout, on my walking mix, and
it's a great bop.
Not only the original version, but our version that we recorded is also on there too.
That's a good one. Also, like Sitting on a Secret. Like even the shit ones, I love.
I can't tell you. I don't remember. I know there's a song, but I don't remember what it sounds like.
All right. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll hear more about Nathan's horrible taste in music. I just realized I played the wrong ad in music, but who cares? Whatever. It's Drag Race. It's drag. Who gives a fuck? You know?
It's not personal. It's just drag.
It's not personal. It's just drag. Leland and Freddie Scott joined the girls on the main stage to lay down their tracks. On Mr. Monet emulates Britney, Shay channels TLC's Left Eye. Trinity's inspired by her love of Justin Timberlake. And Raja wants to sound young. Meanwhile, on the other girls, Jinx wants to reference Can I Get an Amen? Jada raps about shit, and Evie incorporates the sound of dial-up modems. Let's start with Nathan Brown, from Brown Under. What were your thoughts on this Maxi Challenge recording?
I just wish that Leland and Freddie maybe gave them some other suggestions because, I don't know why you'd sing about poop or be a robot or like Justin Timberlake. I think Shay and Monet were on the money with the 2000s references. The other ones, not so much. And also, I think we need to talk about the Vivian lying about her age. It continues to be a mystery to me.
What did she say?
She said she said she was masturbating as a teenager on dial-up, but she also claimed she was born in 1992. So I looked it up, and dial-up internet was phased out in the mid-2000s in the UK. So she may have possibly have been 12 or 13 when dial-up was gone. So was she jacking it already at 12 or 13? Maybe, but I'm still skeptical.
I mean, I don't know how the UK is, but I feel by the early 2000s we were on to DSL.
We were though, but in the UK, depending on, Liverpool, I don't think is necessarily a very.
It's very late in the UK right now, so we don't have any of our UK listeners with us right now. I don't think so. If you were, can you please tell us? And this is usually when Deckhead, our resident UK person, will be like, I was 0 years old. And, you know, like, and then you're like, okay, we get it, Deckhead.
Well, but he could have been jacking it at 12 or 13 to dial up.
Could have been. That's why it's not like we can't rule it out completely that she was born in 1992, but I still have my questions. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Please, keep us posted on that, Nathan. What about you, Taylor? Any thoughts here on this whole session?
The first session or both of them?
Anything, yeah. The whole recording session.
I guess there was. I agree with Nathan that Monet and Shay were definitely trying to create characters. Mm-hmm. Whereas I thought if you're going to sing a song about Justin Timberlake or you're going to devote your, I think that the fault there, especially when we saw the performance, but the words were, she was singing a song about how she used to be in love with Justin Timberlake back in the day versus playing a character who was maybe obsessed. Like she was in like a group where maybe they had gone on tour together and then she was obsessed. She became like an obsessed stalker kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Trinity's lyrics, just the timing on that was not right. Yeah. But I thought that the other ones were pretty good. I don't get the poop thing. Mm-hmm. I don't get why we're singing a song about love and poop when there was no references made to that before. I don't know.
All right. I had some questions. Nathan, is Leland cute?
Not as cute as Freddie, but yeah, he's cute.
Taylor?
Yeah, he's a very specific kind of cute.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna be the anomaly here. I've never seen Freddie before, but I've seen this Leland. The people who run this show are clearly in love with them. It's always coming up how cute and hot they are, and I'm sorry, and I know white people get really pressed when I say this, you know? But I think they are the most bland, vanilla, basic white gays. Like Freddie with his thin fucking lips. I mean, like, I was like, I didn't even see lips. I thought they were so boring and basic. And I was like, this is what we're seeing as super cute and hot.
We didn't say they're not basic. But they're cute for basic gays.
They think vanilla is spicy. That's what they look like. Okay? I didn't get it. By the way, I want to bring this up right now. At one point, Trinity's making a joke about frosted tips. And Leland's like, anyone else here have frosted tips? And I'm like, don't make fun of that. You bleach your hair.
Yeah.
You know, like, remember the time? Any guys remember when people like dyed their hair an unnatural blonde color? Anyone remember that? I'm like, it was insane. It was insane talk.
Well, but it's the whole hair. It's not just the tips.
Yeah, that was really lame, guys, wasn't it? When people were just dyeing their tips.
You sound exactly like him.
You know when I turned on this Leland? You know when I turned on him?
Oh, I think I know. I know.
Go ahead, yes.
Can I say?
Yes.
I think you turned on him on Moulin Rouge when he decided to make himself like the Prince Charming.
Yes.
Or like the young ingenue, yes. Even though we looked up on the episode that he was 35.
Yeah. Which isn't old, but it was just like, and everyone's talking about how hot he is and everything. I'm like, who is this person? Why does everyone think he's hot? I don't get this. Thank you. Okay, another thing I want to break up. This is another anti-Freddie, and I'm going to bring this up now because I'll forget. Anti-Freddie and Leland thing. So Jinx says in the workroom, I want to do that thing. She says in the recording. In season 5, when we did Can I Get an Amen, I held this really long note, which, as people know, every time I hear it, I bust up. I've played it multiple times in the show, and I giggle every time at her long notes. I was like, yes, right? And when they showed the recording of the actual recording of it, them actually recording, they did a montage of everyone singing. They showed Jinx doing the long note. And I was like, while I was watching, I was like, fuck these editors, man. They ruined what would be so funny in the bit. They're showing it right now. And then I realized that it's a crock of shit. Laganja's mom... Oh, no, sorry, that was a different episode. No, I realized that the reason they probably did that was because Leland and Freddie, those bland... They are so white, they're clear. Motherfuckers, right? Washed it out in the mix. Because they're like, she's not going to ruin our song, our opus.
It's playing really soft in the background at the end. I picked up on that because I was waiting for that too.
Yes.
And then it's.
Yes, Lucian Piani is howling at the moon right now. That's fine. But at least he had the wherewithal to really focus on that in the song. He made it a key element of the song. They were like, she's ruining what's going to be our big hit. She's ruining our what was that one from UK season 1? Nate knows.
The one where Bag of Chips was like, Bag of Chips is stunning.
Yeah.
That one.
They're ruining that for us, whatever that song.
Bye-bye.
Oh, break
up, bye-bye.
Break up.
Yeah.
They're ruining our breakup, bye-bye. It's going to be the big hit. And she's doing that stupid-ass long note. Let's wash it away in the mix. I'm like, oh, that's why they highlighted it. Because stupid Leland and Freddie don't know what comedy is.
I will say, Emanike, who I think did break up bye-bye, is much better. They need to get Emanike.
What is he? Much better?
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, they need to get him back.
Yeah.
I like him.
Uh-oh, we have our new Todrick.
No. I don't hate them. I'm sure they're nice people.
Well, because they do seem to support.
They do, but he's just such a cornball with his dumb jokes. He's like, she goes like, oh, I had Justin's hair. He goes, you didn't actually have his hair. And I was like, yeah, that's right. She had her hair, Leland. She had her hair. She went up to Justin Timberlake and she scalped him. And she kept, you didn't really have his hair, didn't you?
She snapped off one of those ramen noodles he had for a while and put that in a little Ziploc bag.
Yeah. Okay. It's runway day. And, we didn't do the choreography. Oh, did we already do the choreography? Oh, we skipped the choreography.
We didn't.
Yeah, there's not much to say on that, but I do love this trend now where they just get the other team to watch them rehearse instead of putting the other team at work doing something else. They just have to watch it, which I kind of enjoy.
I will say that I'm calling the team that Raja was on the Heathers, and they were so critical of the bookers' choreography. Like, their choreography wasn't much better.
No, it was all horrible. Everybody's choreography was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was disgusting. They should have brought in Jamal Sims. All right, it's runway day, and Raja leads Mr. in yoga. The Viv thanks her team for being great to work with, even if she complained at first. And Shay is proud of Raja for turning it out. Finally, the girls realize it's the halfway point. Do a star count recap, say it might be time to stop helping out the other girls, and once again, talk about Tahine. All right, let's go over to Nate. Oh, no, Taylor. Taylor, any big thoughts here?
They talked about Tahine again?
Oh, they did? Okay, well, Taylor, it's funny that you say that.
Here we go.
I literally have this, and I have some fruit right here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we're
escalating as each week
I
progresses.
did this at Epcot a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. That's why you got COVID.
I had it on pineapple. I was not a fan.
Oh, really? Well,
I'm going to go and grab some Vegemite and do a Vegemite shot.
Okay, so here it is. I sprinkled it on.
Now we have to watch it, Taylor. And then he eats it.
He ate a piece. What was that? Was that cantaloupe or was that a strawberry?
It looked
light in color.
Honeydew.
Okay.
Oh, geez, we have ASMR going on.
And we'll do some watermelon.
Yeah, why not?
It's the summer. It's the fruit of summer.
Taylor hasn't heard this, but when I've done the tahine shot like Jada did, I would reaction. But
he'd be like,
the fruit washes away the sour.
You know, and you had told me that, but now to see you eat it, it just makes so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see the difference.
Mm-hmm. You don't get the sour notes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
So
maybe I need to try it with different fruit.
Yeah, it might have been a shitty pineapple, or maybe you put too much. Maybe put too much.
It was caked.
Oh no! Look at this, Taylor. Look, it's just a sprinkling.
I don't even. I can kind of see it. Yeah. No, it was like way too much.
No.
Because it's like a weird salty and spicy, but it's like earthy too at the same time with the pineapple. And yeah, I have had it.
My butthole's like that because I'm Mexican. My butthole looks like those little abuelita chocolate discs, and it has like little wedges and everything. It's really weird.
Do you like sriracha?
Aiden calls it champurrado. What were you saying?
Do you like sriracha?
What'd you call me?
I like it on certain things. I mean, I think you have to be with these hot sauces. Like, there's certain things I like. Like, I like Tabasco on my eggs.
Okay.
I like Valentina in my breakfast burrito.
The drag queen?
Yep. She comes in and she sits in my breakfast burrito and she goes, I'm your French vanilla fantasy. And then I go, Leland? And he goes, I'm pretending to be Valentina today. And he goes, and then he goes, look at this. And I go, is that actually Justin Timberlake's hair? And he goes, yes, it is. And then I look at the news. There's a news alert, a CNN alert, and it says, crazy bleach blonde hair man chops off, scalps Justin Timberlake. Bye.
So the reason I'm asking is apparently there is a sriracha shortage. Or there's going to be a sriracha shortage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. So,
oh, you're not, but you don't like Taylor doesn't come off this way. He's actually a super picky eater. That's the thing.
Really?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. You couldn't tell by looking at me. Actually, you could because I eat stuff. If it's fried, chances are I'll try it. But most things I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
But
any other thoughts on the runway day?
No.
I have a question. Can you guys touch your toes, Nathan?
Not when standing up.
Taylor?
I think I could. Do you want me to try?
Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead and
All right.
try. Okay,
Okay, he's getting up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's okay, he's starting to bend over.
I think
Side profile.
I think
my toes.
Well, you could be lying to us.
face. Oh, he can't hear us.
Oh.
Do it again, but face the wall.
Why?
I was just kidding.
Could you see my underwear?
No.
Oh.
I can do
Were
it
you
too,
trying
but
to-
I think it's because I don't think I'm super skilled or stretchable or like flexible. I just think I have
hurt my
short legs.
shoulders.
I think I have short legs.
Oh, but see, I don't have short legs.
We just lost Nathan. Do you think he left because he's so mad?
Why would he be mad? Oh, he's
I don't
back.
know. What happened? Nathan?
Sorry. I just got so upset about Taylor touching his
See?
toes that I can't do it. I just needed a moment.
Wait, can you really not touch your toe? But you're tall though, right, Nathan?
Yeah, no,
How
I can't touch my toes. My big dick gets in the way.
How tall are you?
I'd say 186 centimeters.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Computer, how many inches is 186 centimeters?
73.228346456693 inches. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No. Okay, 73 inches. That would be like a little over 6 feet. Like 6'1".
6'1". Okay.
I never thought of you
Well,
as that tall.
I'm 6 foot. I'm like just under 6 foot.
You are?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh, I'm only 5'7".
Yeah.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
You give me tall vibes for some reason.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No. Oh, I've told you I'm the right height. I'm the right height if I was like 11 feet tall. Maybe that's why you think that. No, I fucked the joke up. I'm the right weight
What?
if I'm 11 feet tall. I fucked the joke up. Okay. It's time for Total Request Live with your host, Carson Gailey, featuring performances from hit girl groups Mr. and the Other Girls. Let's start with Mr. first, and we're going to start with Nathan Brown. What were your thoughts on Mr., Nathan Brown?
I thought the chorus was really good. The verses, not so much. I think Monet and Shay were the standouts because they had the best 2000s lyrics vibe. And I think as a team, they looked cohesive and unified. Mm-hmm. But Raja, a bit of a flop, and she was clearly a few steps behind. Like the camera work was very generous to Raja.
Oh, they did those lens flares
yeah.
and everything like that to hide it?
Yeah. They went to during Raja's verse, they went to a crowd shot for 3 or 4
Oh, yeah, or they'd cut to the judges, or all of a sudden you would just see, for a super long time, they'd be like, that was a visual joke no one's seen at home.
I don't get how you can't know your own words that you wrote a day or two before. Mm-hmm. It was a little she was basically just mouthing watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Like she did not know any of the words at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, your thoughts on Mr.
Okay, are we not going to talk about Carson Daly?
Sure, go ahead, talk about him.
That was the funniest part of the whole thing with him with the dark hair. And okay, so that looked like a toupee that he had on. So do we think, because it was so short, do we think that Ross wears a toupee in real life?
No, I think they just wanted to give him that like buzz shaped cut look. That's what it sort of looked like to me. They're trying to get.
But where would they put his hair? Unless they put it like in
the skull cap, and they put that wig on.
I don't know. I just was very much of the like. I was kind of taken aback by it, and I liked his little chin, his little underlip,
soul patch
hair thing. But yeah, what did you? Okay, so did you watch TRL, Joe?
No.
How about you, Nathan? Did you watch TRL?
No, I don't think we got it in Australia.
Okay. Because I
got LRT. Because upside down.
Yeah. You're dumb. I feel like that was the time in my life that I finally realized I was an adult, because the idea of watching something like TRL like annoyed the shit out of me, because it was just people screaming for an hour, like over top of like while Carson Daly is interviewing Destiny's Child or Mariah Carey or any of that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So even though I liked a lot of the music from that period.
Yeah.
But as far as getting back to, I think that Nathan kind of said it really, really well in that Shay and Monet were the definite standouts there. Though I'm glad, kind of referencing back to something a little while ago, and this kind of speaks that we don't really talk about her, Shay is fading into the background.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you kind of almost forget occasionally that she's there, which is surprising when you consider how well she did on All Stars 5. For her to be where you just kind of forget about her, it's odd to me.
I mean, look at the competition. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. Trinity was funny. That's my thoughts. All right, the other girls, Together Forever. Your thoughts here. Let's go with Taylor.
I thought that, again, the concept of this was funny, that it was all of these misfits together. I don't get the whole Evie looking like a Tyrannosaurus Rex every chance she gets, with making the weird faces and that her mouth is open a little too wide and just kind of being very like moving all over the place. And it's uncomfortable to watch. And I feel like if she was trying to be a robot, I get that like the Vivian came over and tried to like wind her back up again and something, but there could have been something that she could have looked more android-esque, I guess, in some way, that it was never really explained, at least not what they showed us on the runway, but that just to me was just horrible. But I thought the Vivian's lyrics were really funny. I thought Jinx's lyrics were very, very funny too. Who's the fourth member of that one? Jada. Oh, we already talked about Jada. I don't get the whole poop thing.
Nathan Brown?
I thought this was a complete fucking mess. I thought it was the worst one of the two. Like when the best lyric of the whole thing is baby, 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 maybe, baby, my baby, maybe. Like that's a bad sign.
But it was intentionally bad. I don't know why she
was a wind-up robot.
It was intentionally bad.
That's the thing, though. They could have done intentionally bad and it been funny. But this wasn't funny. Like Jinx's lyrics were good, but she didn't look that old. Like she looks older normally.
I think the Viv was funny. I think Jada wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Jinx, so funny. So funny. And then I thought Evie was good. I kind of got what I was going. I thought, look, did I think she should be the top two? No. But I thought the team as a whole was cohesively better, stronger, had a unique take. It wasn't just a strike a pose. Like, the thing with Misters, they were legitimately trying to be a girl group, and they were legitimately trying to do it with the looks and being serious. I'm like, this is not a serious. I mean, they had Ross as Carson Daly, and they were trying to like, you know what? So when I was in junior high, right, they had, when you were in 7th and 8th grade, they had these lip sync contests, right? And we would get like a certain period to prepare for it. And me and my friends, we won it. I won first place 2 years in a row, 7th and 8th grade I won. And we always did a funny lip sync where we were stupid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And legitimately funny. The other boys in the class would do like they wanted to really be Guns N' Roses, or like they really wanted to be Nirvana, and they would go out there. They thought they would be like, "Oh, we're gonna win because I look like Kurt Cobain or something like that," right? And you're like, that doesn't make any sense, right? You have to be funny, right? And so that's why maybe I appreciate it. I'm all like, they're not really trying to be Eden's crush. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
They're going on there, and the other girls are being funny, and that they're the sort of misfit toys, as Taylor to use a term Taylor likes to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a funny take on it.
I genuinely do think that it was a bad idea to be bad on purpose and do it poorly. So I actually think it was the challenge to do the 2000s vibe. So I think Shay and Monet should have been in the top 2 instead of Evie and Jinx in this instance.
The Vivian.
Oh yeah,
Evie and the Vivian.
Evie and the Vivian.
I think you picked up on a word that is the key there, and that is they were doing a bad job on purpose poorly. There was a moment towards the end where then it just became chaotic, of where like Jinx and the Vivian were out of breath, and Jada was like gonna shit her pants, and the other one was doing God knows what. And in that moment, it kind of, the idea of all of these weird misfits sort of came together. And it was just, felt like it was like for just a moment. Had they found a way to do that through the entire, of where maybe they were constantly bumping into each other, or one of them would like trip, one of them would go the opposite way when the other three were, then I think it would have played out a little bit better, and it would have been funnier, even though I do think some of the girls were actually pretty funny in their performances. But I think it would have made it a more cohesive, and maybe you would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
I think so, because they didn't look like a band. And like at the end of it, when they talked to Carson Gailey and Vivian said, "Oh, Brexit's not my fault," I'm like, you're 14 years too early, hun. We're meant to be in the 2000s. Like, I don't think they got that.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
All right, well, he has spoken his piece. All right, well, is that everything on the performances?
I think so.
Now it's time for the looks. I think Nathan's going to quit the show. Are you going to quit the show, Nathan?
No. Oh, sorry, I said that with tone.
I was going to say.
No. There was some. She's pressed. She's pressed right now.
There, didn't she?
She can't wait for that trip to Europe for 2 weekends. All right. The looks were Night of $1,000. Actually, I bet you once Christian saw this episode, he's like, I'm so glad I'm not on here. I don't know who Dolly Parton is. But Taylor, well, you must have been so thrilled that you were on tonight because Night of $1,000. Let's start with you, Taylor. The first one down the runway was Monet Exchange. Give us your quick opinion, toot or boot.
Toot. Absolute toot. I've learned by watching the pit stop today that was not a pattern on on a piece of fabric. Each of those squares was individually sewn together. It was a dress that took like over 100 hours to make, and it was a gorgeous toot, absolute toot.
Nathan?
As a fan of Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, I'm going to also toot it. I thought Monet really had the hair like really well, and yeah, I'm going to give a good Dolly toot.
Correct answer with a toot. She looked fantastic, and it deserved the toot. I didn't know all these. Taylor's going to give us all the information. I love how Taylor's watching the pit stop, and then he's like, "Oh God, Joe, I can't do this." He was watching every single goddamn thing that comes out about this show. Trinity the Tuck. Go with you, Nathan. Toot or boot?
Toot. I loved it. I thought it was very Dolly.
Okay.
A toot. Absolute toot. She looked great. The hair was a little odd. And for some reason, she made her nostrils like really, like she almost like drew nostrils under her nostrils. but I thought that she looked really good, and the dress was gorgeous. So toot.
Correct answer is toot. Trinity K. Bonet, not Trinity, Trinity the Tuck looked fantastic. Trinity K. Bonet came in later. All right, next. By the way, Trinity K. Bonet was on the Reddits this week for making some weird racist joke, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And then, but what's funny is I didn't even get the comment. What she said was, I'm going to see it in correct English, that she never sees Asian people pumping gas, and then she goes, "What do you guys use? Soy sauce?" Oh, but first of all, what does that mean? You've never seen Asian people pumping? I see Asian people all the time pumping gas. It's like a weird statement I've never heard before. I've never heard that before. By the way, the correct answer is they do use soy sauce. It's very bizarre. Okay. Anyway, next we have Shea Coulee. Taylor, any thoughts on Shea Coulee?
This was horrible. I was so disappointed in this. The wig looked like she took like light yellow yarn and just kind of put it on top of her head. And I get that Dolly has worn a leather outfit similar to that in the past, but it's not something that people immediately go to when they think of Dolly. And I also thought it was poorly executed. It looked like shit that you would, honestly, it looked like stuff it would look very thrift store. It wasn't the level of polish I am used to from Shea. So I would give that look a boot, which is very unusual for me for Shea, because normally everything she does is impeccable.
Nathan?
I agree with you, Taylor. When I was reading Reddit trying to find out if I liked this look or not, I thought the exact same thing, so I'm going to boot it.
Correct answer? It's a boot. It was horrible. I didn't like it. Next, we have Raja. Start with you, Nathan Brown. What does Reddit say?
They said it was good. They said it was very dolly. And I personally enjoyed how big the hair was.
All right, it's a toot for Taylor, for Nathan. Taylor, what about you?
Yep. It's a toot. It's a toot. She looked like, to me, a drag queen's version of Dolly Parton. Like where she didn't necessarily look like Dolly, but she looked like a man in a Dolly Parton outfit that looked really, really good in a really pretty dress. And it was really pretty with all the beadwork and everything. So that's a toot for me as well.
She looked like the actress that played the wife of what's the actor's name? But on Mama's Family, the son's wife.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh, goddamn you, Joe! What was her name?
Lurleen or something like that. Or I don't know.
Yeah, it was I thought Erlene was the neighbor. God damn it! Hold on. Now I got to look that up.
So you said two. So the correct answer is 2. All right. Next we have the Viv. Since Taylor's looking something up, why don't we go with Nathan? Nathan, what are your thoughts here on the Viv? Toot or boot? What's going on here?
She's in blue again, Joe. I'm starting to think she was joking when she said she never wears blue, knowing that all she packed was blue. Because I can't believe it. It's like 6 in a row. But she had the best realness, and I thought she was really good, so I'm going to toot it.
All right, Taylor?
It was Dolly Parton walking down the runway. She was. I understand that it's blue. I like the color blue, but that was the best of all of the looks. So absolute toot.
All right. The correct answer is toot. So far, everyone's been matching. All right. Jada Essence Hall. Tove the Lo-tte Boy.
Jada Essence Hall wore the yellow dress that kind of was like fringe on the bottom, and this was not my favorite look. I thought she looked pretty, but she didn't necessarily look super dolly to me. So as far as, is she a toot or a boot then? I don't know. Because she was one of my least favorite, I'm gonna have to boot Jada. All right. It didn't really match. She really didn't do the assignment.
Nathan?
I'm tooting it because of that titty bib she was wearing. It was just so fun to watch her like bounce her boobies as she was walking down the runway. So for that, I'm tooting.
Nathan? Taylor? It was
so
for
close.
Jada Essence Hall. All right. Next, we have Jinx Monsoon. Let's start with you, Nathan. Jinx Monsoon.
I wasn't that blown away with this one. Like, I get that it might have been old school Dolly, but to me it didn't scream Dolly, so I'll give it a soft toot. Oh,
What's
jeez.
wrong, Taylor?
This was classic Dolly. This is 9 to 5 Dolly. Here you come again, Dolly. Baby, I'm burning. This is that late 70s, early 80s Dolly with the hair, which was like the big round football helmet and the off the shoulder. Plus, I love the dress. The dress was like red, white, and blue, which I love those colors. And this was an absolute toot for me. I loved this one. I love the Vivians more, but I knew exactly the point in time that she was doing when she came out in that outfit. Thank you.
Correct answer is great look. Jinx did well. And finally, we have Evie Oddly. Let's start with Tove the Lo-tte Boy.
This was a big mess. I don't get this. I mean, I get the point of the reference of the little like jumpsuit with the up the knee thing, but she looked crazy. It just wasn't. I know this was a boot for me.
Nathan Brown.
I thought she looked dreadful. I thought she looked more like Doily Parton than Dolly Parton, which is a hilarious joke I stole from Reddit. And I just don't know why you pick that look that resembles bloomers. So boot.
Correct answer. Yeah, it looks horrible. Boot. Don't like it. Any other thoughts on the looks before we call it a day?
No.
All right. Those are the looks. Over on the main stage, RuPaul names the Vivian and Evie Oddly the top 2 All-Stars of the week, but Viv does not receive a legendary legend star because she was blocked. So Jada gets her second star of the week. Next, Viv and Jada battle out in a lip-sync battle for their legacies. The song, Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That by Dolly Parton. After the lip-sync, the Vivian is named the winner and uses the Platinum Plunger to block Jinx Monsoon. Ladies, any final thoughts on the episode? Let us start with a Taylor T. Latte Boy. Any final thoughts on the episode?
That lip sync was so night and day, of where, again, kudos to the Vivian for really, if you ever watch Dolly perform, she was performing as Dolly Parton. There was everything that Dolly does, and even with the wink and the move in the head, and she was just amazing. As compared to the crazy person that was dancing around her, it was very little Kenya Michaels kind of dancing, like with "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." That was kind of my thought on that. The idea that I hope that we're not going to have this back and forth of Jinx and the Vivian just handing each other the plunger. Though next week is a sewing challenge, so there's a good chance that will kind of break this. I guess if we start to see that trend, the only way you're going to be able to break that, at least temporarily, is if the Vivian and Jinx are the top 2 of the week, and then they can't give it to the other one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's it. I love this series. It's a great season this year.
Yeah, those are all your thoughts, Taylor.
I believe those are all my thoughts.
Nathan Brown from downtown.
I agree with Taylor. I think Evie was so distracting in that lip sync, and she should not have been in the top 2. And the way they were gassing her up in those critiques, it was just so obvious that they were aiming to give her her second charity star of the episode. And she's now tied first. Evie Oddly tied first. I could not believe it. I could not. Number 3rd in the voting. I could not believe it. And I'm looking forward to seeing her now go flatline.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is, how do you say her name? Tove Lo? What's her name again?
Tove
Lo.
Sing the song again. That'll help you remember.
This Tove Lo, she goes, this is during the judge's critiques. I almost thought of the sandbag or what it was in. He goes, Evie Oddly, I've never seen anything like that. And meanwhile, she's wearing a bicycle helmet cake.
Right.
With a wedding cake on it.
Yeah, a wedding cake bicycle helmet. And she's like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And she's wearing a cake on her head. And I was like, what is she saying right now? This is I've never seen anything like this.
Right.
It's classic. I will just add as well, Untucked got slightly better this week.
Oh, what happened this week?
Nothing too major, but there was this one really funny moment where where Monet and Trinity are on the couch and they're having like a deep and meaningful, and then all of a sudden it's like a horror movie and Jinx is playing on the ukulele and you pan out and Jinx is on the couch the whole time, but they never showed her and they're like, ah! It's very funny.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 7. So, for Tove the Lo-tte Boy, Nathan Brown, and myself.
Sashay, until next week.
That's my line!
Thank you for listening to RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia or email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ content, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This episode was produced by Luke Stamen and Zach Birch. Nathan Brown has 2 other podcasts. The first is Breaking Down Bad Books and the other is called Bravo Bravo Effing Bravo. You can find those podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find Nathan on Instagram at NathanBrown90. Finally, follow Joe Betance on Instagram at Joe Betance. Special thanks to our expensive tier Patreon supporters: Agnes Yeshopinska, Alex S., April Pacheco, Ubtu Sky, Brad Coley, Karina Williamson, Dave O, Dak Head, Elizabeth Timmer, Emma, E. Smith, Boastful Cake, J. Thomas Plank, Jesse Harris, Anonymous, Lauren Eckert, Doofus Maximus, Lucy Carrasco, Luke Stammen, Mercedes Mueller, Nicholas Springham, Nikki Baker, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera, Robert NYC, Sarah Yu, Tom Bombs, Travis Newland, Troy Anderson, Zach Nelson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.